Hello and welcome to the second video from GetWordPressBlog.com. In this video tutorial we are going to show you the incredibly easy process of installing WordPress on Dreamhost.com. Or if you have any other web host that offers one-click installs, it is literally going to be just this simple. First up, we're going to head to Goodies and one-click installs. You're going to get two options on the next page. You can either choose easy mode or advanced mode. Advanced mode is going to give us a little bit more flexibility and it's not any more difficult, so that's the option we're going to go with. And just make sure that you have the WordPress selected of that radio button. Head down to the bottom, choose which domain name you want it on, and you can choose here if you want to give it a directory name. For instance, you might want getwordpressblog.com/blog. We're just going to put it in the root directory, so I'm not going to enter any information here. Because this is the advanced mode, we have the option here to create our own database. If you know how to do that, you're probably not going to be using the one-click install, so go ahead and leave that checked and click install. It was literally that easy. It's now set up, and it says within about 10 minutes, and that's usually about right. You can get in there and start editing and setting up your website. In just a few minutes, you're going to receive an email, and it's going to tell you that you are ready to finish installing WordPress on your site. You're going to follow this first link over here, which is going to take you to the install page where you're going to put in a title. The default username is admin. You can change it to whatever you'd like. Enter a password twice, your email address, and leave this checkbox checked so your site will appear in search engines, and click install. WordPress is now completely installed and it's time to log in. Welcome to your new WordPress dashboard. The very first thing we're going to do once we get in here is head to the settings. Most of these you can leave alone and are up to personal preference. The only thing I would highly recommend you do is make sure that you have a tagline in here that very briefly and accurately describes your site. And then also head over to permalinks and change the default structure, which is normally this, has a question mark, a P, equal sign, and then a number, which really doesn't make sense to any human. So let's change it to a custom structure, and you're going to put in /, %, post name, %. What that's going to do is give you a URL that would look like this: getwordpressblog.com/ and then your post name. That's what's going to make sense to humans as well as to search engines, and that's going to give you a real leg up with your search engine rankings, so make sure you have that in there. Everything else, like I mentioned, is just up to personal preference. When you have your writing settings, how big of a box do you want it to be when you're typing in your post, and do you want to convert your little smiley faces into actual graphics? Same thing with reading. How many posts do you want displayed at one time? How many of those do you want to be shown in your syndication feed? And maybe later you'll want to change your front page to something other than your posts. And in that case, you will select this radio button and choose from a page that you have created. But for now, we're just going to leave that as latest posts. In discussions, when somebody leaves a comment, do you want it to be auto-approved? Do you want to go in and manually approve each one of those comments? It's completely up to you. So go ahead and make all those settings to your personal preferences, and the next step is to go to posts and categories, and you're going to add categories for all of the blog posts that you create. WordPress gives you one default called uncategorized. You can go ahead and go in there and edit it and give it whatever kind of name you want. As an example, on this website we might have a category that has to do with WordPress plugins. So we would put in that name, and then the slug is what the URL is actually going to look like. So this category name, if we were pulling it up in a browser, would be getwordpressblog.com/WordPress-plugins, and go ahead and do update. From here you can add new categories just make sure to put in the name and the slug, and then click Add New Category. When choosing category names, put in some careful thought. Think the way that your visitors would search. Think of how you search for this kind of information. That will help you know what kind of words to use, such as WordPress plugins, something that really makes sense. You now have the basic configurations for your new WordPress blog all set up, and you are now ready to handle the next task, which is design. Thank you for joining us on this second video tutorial from GetWordPressBlog.com, and we hope to see you on the next video, which is WordPress design. See ya!